Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's week 11 in college football. This is the Into the Weekend with BetDSI show that we do every week with Brent, the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook. Brent, thanks so much for being back with us once again. College basketball starts tomorrow. It's crazy this time of year, right? Are you going nuts? Are you pulling your hair out? What's it like there at DSI with college basketball starting, NBA, college football all over the place, the heart of the NBA, the NFL season, NHL, everything, right?
Yeah, due to this season, the hair fell out a long time ago, Peter.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nuts, and the thing is, like, what you have to appreciate is, even all on college football Saturdays, forget about NBA now and hockey now and then basketball coming. But if you just take college football for example, let's say we've got let's say 60 games on a day. Well, we're running a first half on that. We're running a second half on that. So all of a sudden, your 60 games turn into 180 bets right off the bat. Right. And then, of course, you're talking aside a total of money line. We'll multiply that by 3 and go on and on and on. Then you want to throw college basketball into the mix where we're going to have like 75 to 100 games on a Saturday. It's, it's a great time of year if you're a sports fan. And also, honestly, as a bettor, it's probably a good time of year because there's so many things to choose from. Right. You've got, in terms of, it's like going to a restaurant and taking a look at a menu. Well, today we've got 10 things. Tomorrow we're going to have 150.
Right. So is it hard to manage actually all the action that comes in? Because with football, it's like, you got a whole week to deal with it. If a big bet comes in, you can look at your how balanced everything is. You can look at the sheet. You can be careful about it, take your time to think. But with basketball and everything coming so fast, is it actually hard to manage all the action coming in? Like, how do you do that?
It is. Well, I think the best way we found to manage it is to have separate eyes on separate sports. If you try and run college football and basketball and hockey and NBA all at the same time, you'll go nuts. If you say, look, today I'm going to run college football and that's it, you're going to take all of basketball, you're going to take all of the odd sports and hockey, for example. Right. That's usually the way it works out better because you just can't have eyes on everything. And, you'll have, Michigan State playing Michigan in one sport and Michigan State will play, someone else on another sport and you see bets coming through. You can easily confuse what you're looking at.
Crazy time of year, and even the CFL playoffs starting this weekend. All right, Brent, let's take a look at Week 11 in college football. First game I have to ask about Alabama, Mississippi State. Mississippi State actually has covered 6 out of their last 8 games, with Bama off a strong win and cover against LSU, assuming Alabama is a big public favorite side here.
Yeah, the count is about 3-1 in favor of Alabama. Yeah. Money's about 4-1 in favor of Alabama, so it's pretty much Alabama support so far. We did take what I'm going to call, a pseudo respectable bet on Mississippi State when it was +8, -05. They're running 8 -15 right now. They're bouncing back and forth between 8 flat, 8 dog 15, 8 favorite 15. But it's only like one pseudo sharp bet on Mississippi State at the +8 -05. Other than that, it's been pretty much just public money driving Alabama. We're sitting at 8 dog 15 right now. It's probably going to stay around where it is. I've got also pseudo sharp money on the over actually, which like I said, it's never a good spot for us because usually the public's going over. So when the respectable money goes over as well, you can end up one-sided real quick. The money on the over 49 and over 50 came from a couple of different pseudo sharp guys. We're sitting at 51.5 right now. Some little scraps coming back, so we're not in a bad position right now in terms of setting up a big middle. But over 49 was the first what we'll call pseudo sharp bet on the over, Peter.
All right, and then the next thing I want to ask about, very interesting from a handicapping perspective, Oklahoma and Baylor. Oklahoma, of course, off of 4 straight massive covers since the Texas loss, and we can pretty much, I think, throw out Baylor's ATS profile from the rest of the year because they've been a favorite of 17 points or more every game this year, and in this one, this is the first game all year that they have a competitive spread. The line has moved market-wide from about -4 to -2.5. So someone's been betting Oklahoma. Has that been sharp action?
I have really good action on this game, which is absolutely no surprise, I'm sure. I've taken slightly more bets on Baylor. My money's slightly favored of Baylor as well. Mm-hmm. The thing with this line, we're sitting 2.5 -15 on Baylor right now. I got sharp action on Baylor -2.5 -05. That was early in the week. Line was up to 3.5, and I got sharp action on Oklahoma there. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say, hey, there's sharp action on this game, take this side, because I've got the +3.5 with Oklahoma, the -2.5 -05 with Baylor. So right now it's landing 3 would be disastrous based on the big bets that we did take from the sharps there. But anything other than that, right now we're sitting in a situation where we've got really good action on this game. I do have definite sharp action on the total, though, at I've got 2 different guys on the under. And I know basically every week I get, you talk about an under in a Baylor game. People are listening and saying, "Oh yeah, here we go again." I don't want to hear this anymore. But still, the facts are the facts. I've got more bets on the over, almost like 4-1 on the over. I've got my money is almost the same thing, 4-1 on the under, because it definitely public and sharp split there.
Wow.
They went under 78, under 77. We're sitting at 76 right now. So again, a couple of sharp guys, both on the under this one, under 78, under 77, and they're split on the side between plus 3.5 and minus 2.5, Peter.
Interesting information there, Brent. And then the third game I want to ask about, Washington State and UCLA. Washington State, of course, now on an incredible ATS run, 6 straight ATS covers, all by double digits. And, they were obviously a sharp side, whether the Sharps bet them or not. In that run, the Sharps, I know, were on Washington State in several of those games. Against UCLA this week, though, the line has moved in UCLA's favor. It opened about -8 market wide. Now it's all the way up to 10.5. I'm assuming that movement was caused by public action. I can't imagine Sharps were betting UCLA here, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird one. I mean, I've got more bets actually on Washington State, just slightly, and my money's pretty much even. I mean, again, it was what drove the number here at least was a guy who would call a pseudo sharp on UCLA when it was 8. We're actually sitting on 10 right now. We haven't gone at 10.5, but it's interesting in that we're pretty much balanced. My count favors Washington State, which, the public is going to bet Washington State. I think they're kind of impressed with what they've done, especially their offense, putting up a ton of points. They've hung with some decent teams. I mean, even Stanford, they lost by 2 points there. That was real strong performance by them. I think before that, they lost to Cal, who was like a highly ranked team. So, I mean, Washington State, little Washington State Cougars are getting support from the public. And again, it was just a pseudo sharp bet on UCLA. We have taken, consistent bets on UCLA as well, but we're sitting at 10. I haven't gone at 10.5 yet. Just haven't needed to because my money's pretty much even. My count slightly favors Washington State. So it looks like it's still coming back that way. I do have more money on the under as well. And again, that was what I'll call a pseudo sharp play, not something I'm going to take as a sharp bet. Count, no surprises, 8-1 on the over. No surprise at all. Again, I think people are kind of like, they just think of Washington State as this powerful, high-scoring team, but still, the sharp bet did come under 66.5 there.
So similar to the Oklahoma-Baylor game, big public action on the over, sharp action came in on the under, and maybe, I don't know, now that the public is piling in on Washington State, maybe it's time to reverse course and maybe fade them?
I mean, it could be, but it's still one of those cases where when I say the count favors Washington State, it's only 2-1, so
okay.
It's not really a strong count. And again, we're sitting here on Thursday. Who knows what's going to happen between now and Saturday, of course, Peter.
Okay, what can you tell us about notable action that you've taken from the rest of the college football Week 11 card, Brent?
I can tell you that we're really one-sided in terms of the number of bets we've taken on Ohio State.
Okay.
They're at Illinois this week, and this is a case where Illinois plus 17 took some sharp money. We're down to 16 right now in Ohio State. Again, my count is way one-sided, about 6-1 in favor of Ohio State. So that's a lot of public money driving Ohio State, which is no surprise. Sharp money on Illinois. Again, the number was plus 17, so it's kind of key getting the number there. Tulane and Army is another one in case where I've got a couple of sharp guys on the total there. They first came in on under 47 and under 46 as well. The next bet I get on the over will be the first one I take there, Peter. Dropping down, maybe the sharpest play I have on the board based on the number of guys on it is South Florida at home to Temple. Mm-hmm. Yes, betting against Temple. Temple is down to a minus 2.5 point favorite at South Florida. I have sharp money on South Florida plus 4.5. Plus 3.5 and plus 3, and again, those are 3 different sharps, 3 different list members, Peter.
Right.
So that's really strong when that happens like that.
Last time this happened that I remember was the FAU Florida International game, and the list guys were
right.
totally right in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Peter. Yeah, I remember that because I was personally invested in the outcome of that opportunity.
Yeah, I remember that one because I bet the wrong side on the opening line and then took it back.
Yeah, you're right. I think I remember that. And that was me scratching you off the list.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, Brent. Saved me a bunch of money on that one for sure.
All right, moving right along, we got Georgia State is another team you're just itching the back with. Georgia State is at Texas State. Texas State 2.5 point favorite now at home. Georgia State money came in at plus 3.5 and plus 4.5 before that. Again, 2 different sharps, both on Georgia State there. Texas and West Virginia, you know how we love putting people on the under, but again, I got a lot of guys on the under this game. We're sitting at 53.5 right now, under 57, 55.5, and 54.5. So that's a lot of sharp action on the total there. And the only other sharp play would be the Oklahoma Baylor game that we touched on with the under 78 and 77, Peter.
All right, Brent, thanks so much. As always, talk to you again tomorrow for NFL Week 10.